So today is about your thoughts on exposure therapy. So my thoughts on exposure therapy, well, is my general response reactions to exposure therapy. So for my thoughts about exposure therapy, it was nothing bad about exposure therapy. It's just, well, I like the techniques, for it. I could see myself doing that. Um, uh, I know the interoceptive exposure, where it's talking about while sitting, you bend forward and putting your head down between your legs for 30 seconds and you sit up very quickly. I know that one. Um, I'm thinking there's one that's talking about, bear with me one moment. I liked the chapter we talked about this. Overall, it's good information. I would say that most of the time that we tend to use this information is good. Um, there is a lot of there's different types of exposure therapy. So I mean, all of this kind of triggers like people who have like, you know, trauma, panic attacks, all of that. Um, I think it works because from what I read, as I'm looking at my notes, it's helpful for those who have like who are dealing with these certain types of mental illnesses. As for what kind of person do you think exposure therapy would not work for? I would say um, exposure therapy probably would work for some people who have, I would say, as we said in the beginning of the text, probably wouldn't work for anybody who has schizophrenia, I would say. But I could be wrong. Let me see. Yeah, sometimes some patients who suffer schizophrenia can't really deal with exposure, therapy. But I could be wrong. Let's see. Um, I have to make sure. I have to. But yeah, I would say that in the beginning of the book, sometimes it depends on what patients are triggered by this information. I probably would say some patients have schizophrenia. Let me just make sure. And that's not even. Um, I would say exposure therapy probably would work for somebody who has schizophrenia, but let me make sure I'm giving the right information. I would say that somebody who is dealing with some type of other serious mental illness um, may not be adaptive to exposure therapy. It probably takes a while to get some type of information or some of these things correct in this sense. Yeah, so I would say somebody who probably is dealing with schizophrenia, most likely, probably wouldn't really deal with exposure therapy per se. Oh, no. Huh. Well, okay. Well, that's what my opinion is. In that case, with the exposure therapy. But once again, I would like to thank you for watching my video.